Hello there, dear YouTubers. My name is King1993, and today I'll be talking about another of the two last remaining weapons in this game. I'm gonna talk about them and give you guys a proper idea of how to use them and how to even avoid them. Okay. Now here is the thing. When it comes to the last two weapons, one of them is called the flamethrower, another one of them is called the cryogun. Now their range are extremely limited. For example, let's say I am in this place here. Okay, this place is about 1 meters. Now I go back up to 20 meters. Okay, now let's see what happens. So if I were to shoot the enemy using this flamethrower or this cryogun, it will get hit. But why will it get hit within 20 meters? Why not more than 20 meters? Because after 20 meters, this gun actually doesn't work. See, in 23 meters or even in 21 meters, these guns doesn't actually work. Okay, so basically speaking, these two guns are basically a short range weapon. Now the question is, if these guns are short range weapon, then when can you use them? Now the only two times that I have seen people actually use this gun is at the beginning of the game and at the end part of the game. So basically speaking, let's say you have entered a certain building. Let's say you have entered a certain building. Let's say from this place to that place, you have entered a building, which is a small area, and one or two enemies have showed up. Now what are you gonna do? Obviously, you will be using these two weapons because even though they are short range weapon, at least their AoE damage area is extremely high. So from that point of perspective, if you want to do damage to the enemies as quickly as possible, then this cryogun and this flamethrower are a very good option. Now another part of the game where this gun is actually very useful is at the end part. So at the end part of the game, the overall danger zone is gonna be extremely close, and when that happens, obviously you want to destroy your enemies without much targeting as possible. So basically speaking, when it comes to other gun, you must need to target 100% properly, otherwise it will not hit. So when it comes to that situation, if you were to, let's say, hit somewhere near them, okay, not 100% close to them, like somewhere near them, as you can see here, I am attacking near the place, but the target is still getting hit. What does it mean? It means that when it comes to targeting, this two weapon doesn't actually need targeting. You will be able to defeat those enemies very easily. So when it comes to this type of situation, using this cryogun and this flamethrower, both of these two weapons are extremely good at the very beginning of the game, okay, and at the last part of the game. Now otherwise, let's say, what are the other benefits? Now other benefit of this gun is, especially the cryogun, is right clicking on this mouse button will basically change the type of attack it will do. For example, if you want long range attack, then it can do that. If you want short range attack, obviously you must need to be close to the enemy and to activate it. Okay, so what happens when you use the, let's say, cryo spray? When you use this cryo spray, the enemy will turn into frozen popsicles for a short period of time, up to 3 seconds. Okay, 1 2 3. Okay, so after 3 seconds ended, they are start gonna be moving. They're gonna be start moving. So whatever you have to do, just do it as fast as possible to destroy them as fast as possible. Okay, now same can be said when this cryogun is used on mechas. Okay, for example, if you use this cryogun on any of the mecha are gonna get frozen as well. Obviously the same demonstration can be demonstrated here because it is actually not possible to do that, or maybe I do not know. Let me try it and go use it on some mecha to see whether it's actually work or not. Okay, let's see. Let me use this on. Okay, yeah, as you saw that this mecha basically froze for a few seconds. So both mecha and when it comes to those vehicles such as those deformed car, or let's say this unicorn, or let's say this hoverboard, all of these can be frozen for a matter of 3 seconds when you use this cryogun. Okay, now the question is, how can you avoid this cryogun or this flamethrower? The best way you can avoid this cryogun or this flamethrower is you must need to have the ability to use your deformed car which you are in very usefully. Okay, for example, if you are in a deformed car and a certain flamethrower or let's say cryogun user shows up, what you have to do is shoot and jump backwards. By doing so, what will happen is you are continuously be able to shoot them, and both at the same time you will be able to avoid their attacks as well. Okay, now let's say you are just going backwards. Will this do no, because going backward like this is slow and jumping backward is actually fast. You are able to cover large distance in that manner. Now let's say you are not in a deformed car, you are in a unicorn. What can you do? In the unicorn, you just have to shoot and move backward. Okay, and how to do that? As you can see here, I use this dashing capability. So when you see a certain cryogun, or let's say a flamethrower user is coming towards you and your dashing capability is not activated yet, then obviously what you have to do is you have to aim at them and then move backward as fast as possible. By doing so, you will be able to avoid their attacks and hit them back. Now what about this last one? The last one is this hoverboard. What can you do with the hoverboard? With the hoverboard, you can do the same thing, but I do not know how much will it work because I have not did it myself properly. Okay, let's say you have a certain gun with you. Let's say a certain pulse rifle. So you have a pulse rifle with you. So again, same thing, just jump backwards and then shoot. Obviously it is not going to be 100% accurate. So when it comes to that matter, obviously if you were to have a, let's say, exploder bot, then what you have to do is, as the enemy is running towards you, let's say the enemy is coming from this deformed arms location, jump back and then shoot this exploder bot. Then what will happen is this exploder bot is gonna go towards those enemies and will be able to destroy them. Also at the same time, it is gonna be making sure that you are not gonna be getting hit by those flamethrower or this cryogun. Okay, so this is basically all of my proper description of how I would utilize it in a battle. Okay, because this cryogun and flamethrower are basically a very what should I call it? This cryogun and this flamethrower are basically the type of weapon that you might want to avoid at the beginning and at the end part of the game. If by chance your enemy doesn't have them, which is good, but if you were to have them, obviously you will have a higher chances of winning the game than any of the other player. Okay, so that is overall my conclusion on this flamethrower and this cryogun. So if you like this video regarding these two weapons, then please give a like and subscribe and click the bell notification icon to get more of this type of video on a regular basis. Next time I will be talking about set items and this set armor, so that it will give you more idea on how to use them on which type of occasions. Okay, so goodbye and stay safe.